A global pandemic.
We are right now in the throes of this fire. This fire is raging around us right now.
Protests over policing and escalating political tensions.
Problems seemingly all around.
Been real hard, trying to work and, do everything here.
The divide between us seems bigger than ever before.
But what if we paused for a second to look around at all the good there still is?
We have a history of looking at what is needed in our community and coming together to meet that need.
In our community.
In our nation.
If you raise your hand for help, we're here for you.
In our world.
You can do more than you think you can. And you can do much more than others think you can.
Dayton 24/7 Now teaming up with our sister stations
to bring you the news to be thankful for this Thanksgiving.
We are nearing the end of Thanksgiving, and many of you are now likely thinking of holiday shopping. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Megan O'Rourke.
And I'm Adam Arrow. Shopping could be hard, though, for those not ready to leave home because of the pandemic. Dayton 24/7 Now's Chelsea Sick introduces you to a local woman hoping to help small businesses by shopping for others.
Small businesses I've talked to tell me the holiday season is usually one of their busiest. This year, they're expecting to take a hit. With Black Friday just hours away, one Miami County woman says she's hoping to give everyone the opportunity to shop local, even those not yet comfortable with leaving their home. As we all prepare for an out-of-the-ordinary holiday season, small businesses like Heron's Market in Troy already notice the difference.
This year, there's a lot of smaller family gatherings we're noticing, and that's just directly impacting sales through holiday products.
Down the road in Tipp City is family-owned Fox and Feather Trading Company. Co-owner Nicholas Kreider says they're prepared for a slower year.
We're definitely expecting a drop in the customers. We know there's going to be a lot of people afraid to go out still.
That's where Jenny Bolton comes in. After just recovering from COVID-19 herself, she wants to give back to her community.
I will go out and do all of your shopping for you and deliver whatever items I pick up or whatever items they requested to their home.
Whether you're looking for fruits or vegetables for a holiday meal from Heron's Market or a gift for a loved one from Fox and Feather in Tipp City, Bolton says she will deliver it free of charge.
I just want to help anybody who's fearful of going out right now, where I am blessed to have my health.
This Facebook post started it all. The caveat, she will only shop at small businesses in Troy and Tipp City. An act store owners say will make a difference this holiday season.
Troy, I've always said, is a wonderful place to own a business, and it's because of people like her that shop locally.
Bolton says the best way to make an order is over Facebook or through email. We have her contact information on our website, Dayton247now.com. Just click on this story under Top Stories. Reporting in Tipp City, Chelsea Sick, Dayton 24/7 Now News.
Chelsea, thanks. And both Heron's Market and Fox and Feather say they will be open on Black Friday and Small Business Saturday.
Many have spent today in the kitchen cooking for loved ones. Food, a big comfort during this pandemic, and now there's a new movement to get it delivered to the doorsteps of those who need it most. It started one day when Rhiannon Men got a big grocery order delivered. She and her daughter started cooking lasagna. They made a few extras and posted them to Facebook groups. It's called Lasagna Love, and it's now grown to include more than 3,000 volunteer chefs in 42 different cities, including Dayton.
When this all started, I assumed that the impact we were going to have was just going to be on the families getting a meal, that they would have relief for a night, that they would feel the love and kindness of a neighbor. But we're finding that the impact is much greater than that. So we're having an impact on the people volunteering, where a lot of volunteers have said, I was feeling helpless, I was feeling lost, I was feeling like I didn't have a purpose. And doing this has made me feel like now I'm doing something meaningful with my time during the pandemic.
Volunteers like Lisa Haid are using their own money and time to make a meal to give to someone in need. The program is now expanding to allow you to nominate someone you love.
Sometimes people say, I just want to cry. You know, it's made me so happy. It's the nicest thing anyone's done for me in a long time. There's people out there that want to help and don't expect anything in return. We're just here to serve the community.
If you need a meal or want to volunteer, we've put a link to the Lasagna Love website at Dayton247now.com. Just click on News Links under the News tab.
And if you need help, Dayton 24/7 Now News has compiled a list of food banks in our area. Just head to Dayton247now.com, click the alert at the top of the homepage.
Memorial Day 2019, 15 tornadoes ripped through the Miami Valley. The strongest was an EF4 with winds of 170 miles per hour. Trotwood, Old North Dayton, Harrison Township, Beaver Creek, and more all impacted. Dayton 24/7 Now's Danielle Malagary gives you a look at the grit now helping one community to rebuild.
Sitting on his porch, Les Vaughn takes me back to Memorial Day 2019, when his Northridge neighborhood of 36 years was hit by 2 tornadoes in the matter of minutes.
I came out of the bathtub and everybody was screaming, yelling.
The devastation catching many by surprise. Homes demolished, cars destroyed, trees uprooted.
Just don't look the same, you know, the whole neighborhood.
Vaughn opened up his home to me last September, showing the work that needed to be done and improvements already made.
We had to replace the roof and everything. A couple walls in the side and new garage.
Although the repairs were overwhelming at times.
Been real hard, trying to work and, you know, do everything here.
The Vaughns are proof that with determination and the help of family, anything is possible.
We've come a long ways with it. Me and my boys, they've been a big help for me.
Resilience like the Vaughns can be seen across Harrison Township. Moments after the tornadoes hit, this community got to work and hasn't stopped since.
Every day is a different challenge, associated with the recovery from the tornado. We were really mobilizing our rebuild, repair, task force and recovery efforts to really get started in the spring, April and May, to start that process, and then the virus hit.
The township's development director, Kathy Spoggy, says the pandemic is forcing them to put some work on hold, but they're not at a complete standstill. A lot is being done behind the scenes to prepare for volunteers to come back.
We're not going anywhere, and our ability and willingness to help and support the residents will remain.
In Harrison Township, 1,000 homes and businesses have been impacted by the tornadoes, causing an estimated $20 million in damage. Although it's apparent more needs to be done, improvements are also visible.
But if you drive the entire path and look at the total picture of what the progress that has happened from rebuild, repair to cleanup of debris, you see that we have made a ton of progress.
Progress that wouldn't be possible without the help from neighbors and assistance from the Miami Valley Long-Term Recovery Group, who has helped hundreds of homeowners and renters.
We can give them resources in terms of manpower, money, or materials.
The group's volunteer coordinator, Emmy Fabick, says they're now working with Harrison Township to continue debris cleanup and demo damaged homes.
We really want people to know that they're not being forgotten about.
As we all look back on the last year, it's clear the pain from the loss is still there. But so is hope. And Spoggy says she couldn't be prouder of the residents she serves.
Their resiliency and grit and just being willing to absolutely not fail and to rise up out of this.
Because like Vaughn, for many, giving up and moving on isn't an option.
Because it's home, I guess. I raised my kids here.
And now his grandchildren are making their own memories inside the same home this family has rebuilt together.
We'll survive, we'll be fine.
And that was Danielle Malagary reporting. Now, the city of Trotwood unveiling a plaque commemorating the 2019 Memorial Day tornadoes. Trotwood Mayor Mary McDonald says she wanted to make sure that citizens recognize that the city knows what they've experienced over the last year and that the city is with those who are still struggling. She says it's important not to forget those who were devastated by the tornadoes, even as they deal with the pandemic. The plaque mentions the path, strength, and amount of destruction left in the tornado's wake, as well as the more than 3,000 volunteers who helped with the rebuilding effort.
2020 also brought the one-year anniversary of the Oregon District mass shooting. Now, this memorial hangs outside of Ned Pepper's tonight as the community continues to heal together. A local artist used her heart to show support for the 9 victims and their families back in August. After hearing about the tragedy, Dayton Diamond portrait artist Shirley James knew she wanted to do something. So she started creating portraits of all the 9 victims. James met some of the family members, personally giving them their loved one's picture. One of them was Dion Green, who lost his father, Derek Fudge.
There's so many great people in this community that's here that's supporting all of us and keeping us, our heads up. And I thank people like her.
Now, Green says this photo will forever be close to his heart. The words James has waited almost a year to hear.
I started these 10 months ago. It's the only thing I could think of to do. Well over 600 hours, it was worth it. It was definitely worth it.
The portraits were displayed back on August 4th to mark the one-year anniversary. Shirley then delivered them to the victims' families to have free of charge. One of the victims of the shooting, Logan Turner, lost his life protecting his friends. Hazelwoods Park in Springboro is now home to a bark park that's been named in his honor. And those that made it possible are only in second grade. The Springboro community pays a special tribute to Logan Turner. 1 year after he was shot and killed in the Oregon District mass shooting, now there's a special spot at Hazelwoods Park.
Today we are dedicating the dog park in memory of Logan Turner.
All of it made possible after persuasion from Springboro second graders. 5 Points Elementary second grade teacher Jerry Day says she knew Logan growing up. After his death, she knew she had to do something.
It was time to learn about persuasive writing, and we decided to write the mayor to see if we could have it named after Logan.
The city of Springboro approved the sign standing outside of the bark park. Logan's parents says he would have been proud.
Logan, being an only child, didn't have siblings to share things with, so he certainly loved his dogs.
Very proud, very honored. Logan would love this.
The students also chipped in to write a book together called Logan's Bark Park. Day says her students will keep Logan's memory alive by making a new book each school year. The Turner family says they're also pushing Logan's legacy forward.
He's left a mark. We started the scholarship fund in Springboro students of Sinclair. We plan on doing a lot of great things in Logan's name.
Now you can donate to the Logan Turner Scholarship Fund right now. We put a link to that fund on the Dayton247now.com website. Just click on News Links. It's under News tab.
Throughout 2019, the city's motto was Dayton Strong. For 2020, the city unveiled the Dayton Stronger initiative. The city asked residents to post rainbows like this heart to commemorate the tornadoes and the mass shooting. The city and the surrounding communities going all out to remind everyone we are in this together and encouraging folks to have faith.
On the one-year anniversary of some of the tough things that happened to Dayton last year, we didn't want to just say Dayton Strong. We wanted to recognize that that is a powerful message that we had last year, but coming to the other side of these issues like tornadoes and mass shootings and hate rallies, that it has brought the community together, and that we see the things we need to work on, but we work on them together, and that does make us stronger.
Many around the Miami Valley kept their rainbows up throughout the summer to provide something interesting to look at for those families who started taking daily walks.
We're going to go, 100 miles of damage.
Buckeyes who helped during the Memorial Day tornadoes now stepping up to respond down south. Why area volunteers say it was so important to give back. Plus,
my name's Jim Morgan and I'm totally blind from an accident that happened 6 years ago.
An Ohio man not letting his injury stop him from bringing healing to people through art. How and why he does it, next. You're watching Dayton 24/7 Now News.
You're watching Dayton 24/7 Now News.
My message is, you can do more than you think you can, and you can do much more than others think you can.
You're about to see what perseverance looks like. A Central Ohio man is blindly going where few would dare to venture.
with faith and feel, Jim Morgan is fashioning exotic clocks, or woods rather, into clocks and helping us all see potential rather than disability. Bob Kendrick from our sister station ABC6 in Columbus has the story.
11 inches, including case.
His are the hands of time.
Feels all right.
With a much practiced feel for precision, perfection.
This clock right here is my 77th.
A master woodworker whose hands have seen a lot.
When I could see, I cut that thumb off, and so I've got a toe thumb replacement there.
But as you watch him and his hands craft a clock, what's truly remarkable is what he sees now.
This is what makes people nervous when they see me using the table saw. Guard down. My name's Jim Morgan and I'm totally blind from an accident that happened 6 years ago. I was on a bicycle and I got hit by a car, and my optic nerves are dead between my eye and my brain. There's no connection, so I'm totally blind. After that, of course, there's a lot of depression and aspiration and wonder, and I just decided that I needed to get out and do something.
Okay, but something with saws and planers and routers without vision?
Let me put it this way. It's probably not as hard as it looks. I know where my hands are, I know where the blade is, and I just am a lot more careful, and I probably have less chance having an accident now than I did before.
Plus he has me in the house praying for his safety.
The clocks join Jim's Hebron home and its furniture, all of which he designed and built himself and has never seen.
I design them in my mind, and I figure out a method and a way to do them blind. You come up with an imagination that I think everyone has if they venture to use it.
7 1/16.
I tell people there's two things you can say about my clocks. One is they'll be one of a kind because I can't copy. And the second one is the person that built it will never see it.
What he can see now is new purpose. He started selling clocks at art shows, raising money needed to build more clocks to then auction for charity. He's teaching woodworking, here to 2 blind men who don't speak English. And he's in demand as a speaker.
My message is you can do more than you think you can, and you can do much more than others think you can. Everybody has different abilities, and it's a question of just using the abilities and the imagination that everyone has.
No, he won't tell you because he's humble, but he is very inspiring. We have taken something that has been so detrimental to our life and turned it around to help others.
Here are a few of my clocks that I've finished up here. The first one here is a baseball clock that I built for the local Lakewood coach who is approaching 1,000 wins.
Through the cruelest of injuries, the hands of time have actually given the blind clockmaker
10 1/8 inches.
a new vision.
It's great to see him blossom because of the work that he's doing.
It has done things for me and it allowed me to meet other blind people and inspire the people who I am more like now. And that means a lot to me. It means more to me than anything, really.
And that was Bob Kendrick reporting. Now, Jim Morgan has a website showing off his clocks and how to purchase them. We've put a link to his page, Dayton247now.com. Just click on News Links under the News tab.
Wildfires, hurricanes, tornadoes, and more. 2020 has been filled with plenty of natural disasters. And in these times of desperation, we've seen our community rise up to help not only each other, but our neighbors as well. Dozens of local volunteers have been sent out to help. Back in August, DP&L says more than 70 of its crews helped with recovery efforts after Hurricane Laura. Contractors worked in Texas as part of the Southeastern Exchange Network.
Those networks are kind of the hallmark of the utility industry. They have helped out in so many major events. Most recently for us here in Dayton, we had the tornadoes. They sent resources to help us with the restoration activities that were needed at that time.
The tornado that hit Trotwood was an EF4, and just imagine that damage stretching 100 miles. That's why 85 members of Ohio Task Force 1 stepped up in Louisiana back in August.
This time right now, 2020, we need to be together more than we're separate. And our ability to do this for other communities will pay dividends in the future. When we have a disaster that we need help, the communities are going to come and help us. And we look at this as paying it forward.
Ohio Task Force 1 says it is prepared to deploy whenever needed again.
The 2020 census is now being counted, but preliminary data shows 70% of Ohio households returned them, and that can be partly thanks to a 10-year-old Miami Valley native. Riley spent part of the summer riding around with a 2020 census van, getting the word out.
Right now it's really important because it can help fix our roads, breakfast and lunch programs, stuff for hospitals, anything like that. So you think of it as like a big pot of money that the government is giving to each community. So that's why it's really important that a lot of people fill it out so the government knows that we need it.
The census also determines the representatives and redistricting for each state in Washington, D.C. The 2020 census results will be released March 31st, 2021.
And we probably spent about 15 hours building them all, about 60 for this school, yeah, and then 30 for other school districts.
A Boy Scout troop mass producing a unique hands-free way to dispense hand sanitizer. The help they got to make their vision a reality.
And a new campaign to keep everyone safe during the pandemic. The famous Ohioan TAPP to get the word out.
Great food and beverage choices, but only Speedway has the Speedy Rewards card.
2 separate studies by the World Health Organization have shown hand sanitizer can inactivate the coronavirus. But as the demand for sanitizer has expanded, so too has the need for an easy way to get kids to use it. One Tipp City Boy Scout troop has found a unique way to safely dispense it.
With a simple step.
When you push your foot down on the bottom of it, it pushes it down.
A quick pump.
It can pull the top down on it and then hand sanitizer will come out.
Instantly sanitizes your hands. It's an invention Boy Scout Troop 413 knew could help fellow students.
With all the things that are going on, worrying about the schools at times, just kind of suddenly thought about how they would need to be able to do hand sanitizing.
Tipp City schools impressed with the invention and the boys' initiative.
They asked us to make about 60 of them for the schools. The first 2 we spent our own money with creating.
The community jumping in to help the effort.
Butler Heating and Air, they donated about 900 feet of PVC piping for us.
The scouts immediately started scaling up.
The first time we had everyone assembling it on their own. The second time we had it being like a conveyor system sort of, or an assembly line.
Working overtime to get ready for in-person learning.
And we probably spent about 15 hours building them all.
They supplied Tippecanoe Middle School and the Board of Education, but that's not all.
About 60 for this school, yeah, and then 30 for other school districts.
A small idea having a big impact.
The amount of how many we have in this building is kind of overwhelming.
And the scouts are ready to answer the call again.
If the schools were to need any more, then we might be able to get them for like future years or anything.
The satisfaction from keeping their classmates safe, making it all worthwhile.
That I see them using them makes me happy.
Now, the pandemic canceled many Miami Valley graduation celebrations, but in Yellow Springs, graduates, they were honored in a unique way. A clap-out car parade held back in May for Yellow Springs High School seniors. Seniors were allowed to be in their car with their family and travel from the high school to Antioch University, where graduation ceremony took place. From there, students' names were read out loud and shown on the screen as they were awarded diplomas.
What's it going to take to end this pandemic? The new campaign that shows Ohio has the answer. That's next. You're watching Dayton 24/7 Now News. Unfortunately, coronavirus cases continue to climb across the country, but a new public service announcement from the Ohio Department of Health is giving many Buckeyes new hope. It features former NBA and Ohio State basketball great Clark Kellogg.
There are a lot of questions right now. Questions about our new normal, about how to unite a country divided and find equality for all. Tough questions, but here in Ohio, we've always been pretty good with answers. It's 1903. The whole world is asking, is it possible to fly? Ohio says, we've got 2 brothers we'd like you to meet. In '69, our country asked, who will take one small step for us? We've got the man for that. How do you make machines that move us? Machines we cheer for. How do you start a movement, make peace, honor rock and roll, come back down 3-1? How do we recover from a global pandemic unlike anything we've ever seen before? Ask Ohio. We'll show you.
And Dayton 24/7 Now News remains committed to spreading good news, and you can help us do that. It's real easy to submit those pictures and videos and the stories behind them. Just download the free Dayton 24/7 Now app, open it up, click on Explore, then press Chime In. We'll be sure to use your pictures and video on air and online. And if you missed our special earlier or want to watch this one again, you can go to our Facebook page. Just search Dayton 24/7 Now. We've posted both of them in their entirety. Thank you so much for spending your holiday with us, and happy Thanksgiving.